Mr. Brock, please.
As he then was at the CBSA, who did Min Doan directly report to?
He reported to the President, John Osowski, which is the same for me.
Okay. I'm sure you're familiar with the allegations of Min Doan's deleted tens of thousands of emails over 4 years.
I'm aware.
You're aware of that? When did you first become aware of that, sir?
When it was raised in committee, I was not aware before then.
I'm sorry?
When it was raised here in committee, or I wasn't aware before.
Okay. Would you agree with me, sir, that potentially deleting, not by corrupted means, but deliberately deleting 4 years worth of relevant emails during the ArriveCAN development and outlay would constitute not only a highly suspicious action on behalf of Min Doan, but also potentially illegal under the criminal code, thinking to mind obstruction of justice? Do you believe that that's worthy of an internal investigation?
So the CBSA does take allegations of wrongdoing very, very seriously, and my understanding that is being looked at.
Is the CBSA investigating that internally, yes or no?
I do not know if they're investigating that specifically, but
will you look into that, and will you provide us with a response?
I would be happy for the agency to provide a response.
Thank you. Are you aware whether or not that allegation of deleting tens of thousands of emails over 4 years has been reported to the RCMP?
I'm not aware whether it's been reported to the RCMP.
Okay. Now, I want to circle back to Government of Canada strategies. There's a couple of issues that raised in the Auditor General's report. Firstly, you, CBSA, I shouldn't say, not you, CBSA informed the Auditor General during the report stage that GC Strategies was awarded their initial contract on the basis of a proposal that is submitted. CBSA indicated that it had discussions at the time with 3 potential contractors about submitting a proposal to develop the ArriveCAN app, yet through investigation, the Auditor General found that only 1 proposal was received by the CBSA and not for Government of Canada strategies. Why would the agency deliberately mislead the Auditor General?
So my understanding is at the start of the pandemic, and again, I was not directly involved in these discussions, that they mocked up what the ArriveCAN first version would look like, and they asked 3 organizations, Deloitte, Apple, and GC Strategies.
I'm aware of that. Why would the CBSA deliberately mislead the Auditor General in saying that you received a proposal from Government of Canada strategies when in fact you did not? Why would they deliberately mislead? Yep.
So I'm not aware of that, and I'm sure.
You read the Auditor General report?
Well, I've read the Auditor General's report, but
did you not read that section?
Well, the section there is around GC Strategies was providing people.
No, sir. You, the CBSA, said that GC Strategies provided a proposal. The Auditor General confirmed it did not. So the question is very simple. Why is the CBSA actively misleading the Auditor General in the performance of her role? It really begs to mind the cozy relationship that Government of Canada Strategies has with the CBSA. Second case in point, there was a reference to a $25 million sole source contract going to GC Strategies, and the CBSA invited Government of Canada Strategies to write their own contract. If that's not showing favoritism to GC Strategies, I don't know what is. So what is going on at the CBSA to allow these highly irregular and suspicious contracting practices with Christian Firth and Darren Anthony of Government of Canada Strategies?
So as I've said before, that is not permitted under the rules and regulations. And
but it happened.
It happened, and so...
So who was responsible for that?
That's what the investigation is considering.
Surely, sir, you must have some suspicion. Were you personally involved in allowing GC to do that?
I was not involved in GC Strategies at all.
Are you prepared to name names, sir? Are you preparing to speak truth to power? Are you protecting your president?
I'm not protecting anybody. My understanding is that's all being looked at as part of the investigation.
Who's looking into it?
The investigation and also the RCMP. And
you're talking about Mr. Lafleur? The so-called independent investigator that reports to Ms. O'Gorman?
He is the internal investigator.
Right.
Just like
he's not independent.
And the RCMP are independent, and they are also looking at...
the RCMP is independent.
I'm not aware of how the status of that. What I am aware of is, it has been longer than our normal standard operating procedures. So our service standards are 120 working days to complete an investigation. It has been longer than that.
I can tell you, Canadian taxpayers are very disappointed in the operations of the CBSA, sir.
That is our time, gentlemen. Mr. Baines, please, for 5 minutes.